And welcome to Hero Power. I'm your host, Avantes, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, Zeroshio.
What is up, gang? It's June.
God, I can't believe
Yeah,
that. April seemed like it went on forever, and then May was over in a
yeah.
blink.
Finally got to June. Yeah, it's Monday. Normal, not our normal recording time, but I had some maintenance stuff happen at the house. We found out we had a major leak, and they had to come in and get it patched up, and we're letting it dry, and hopefully they don't have to replace our floor. But we'll find out more in about a week. But
Been there, done that.
unfortunately, all the leaking was underneath the floor, so no water damage above the floor so much. But we
Yeah.
noticed it because it was seeping through. So,
Oh, wow.
but yeah, I been playing a lot of Hearthstone. Ended the season legend.
Awesome.
Actually got up to like 5K legend, uh, which I was down like 12K, so I jumped up.
Okay.
And I'm ready for new content.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some new content as well. Hoped we would have some information on that for you guys this week, but doesn't look like it. You know, we were just talking
No.
before the show that this set came out on April the 6th or 7th,
Yeah.
and last year the set came out right around that same time, April the 6th or 7th, and the solo content for Rise of Shadows, which was the set that came out last April, dropped on May 15th. That was 5 weeks after the release of the set. Well, here we are. The April set released right around the same time, and we expected the solo content to drop around the same time, and we are now 7 weeks and 6 days since Ashes of Outland
Yeah.
dropped, and we still
It,
have no news on solo
but
content.
well, yes, that's my problem. In their defense, they did say the solo content would be out. I think they said early June. They may have just said June. So I didn't expect to see the solo content till June, but I expected to at least hear about it, have it teased, and I
Yeah.
understand it's not going to be a price point attached to it. It's going to be free. There's not going to be cards attached to it, so they don't need a lot of lead up time. But I was expecting, maybe mid last week, hey, it's coming out next week, or maybe even today, we'd hear that it's going to come out next week or something. And it also it's weird too because the nerfs had the dust refunds go back to normal starting today.
Today, correct.
So I expected something
A patch
pushed
or
in
something.
to enforce that. So it's weird that there's so much silence. And part of this could be a lot of people working from home and they don't have kind of the structured format like they do when they're in the office at Blizzard headquarters or what. But I would like to see the only thing we've heard is Adija did a card back art video, which was really fun. I enjoyed watching it with her and Luke, and it was a lot of fun. But again, that's not the content I'm looking for. And again, I don't need it right now. I want to be told about it. I'm hoping it's a big story. I'm hoping it involves Illidan. I just want something else to do other than just ladder and BGs for now.
Well, June is the halfway point between
Yep.
the release of Ashes of Outland and the release of the next set in early August. So
Yeah.
if they're trying to push it out to the halfway point, they've done it. Congratulations.
Now give it to us.
Yeah, now give it to us. I don't want the solo content for this set a week before the new set comes out in August. So
Yeah, I like to gestate a little on the solo content, and you know me, I like to see how fast I can get it done, and now's a good time for that going into summer. It's just I would like, not that I'm not enjoying the ladder, because I am. I just want something else to do with my time that I enjoy BGs, but I'm having more time now because of all this pandemic and everything. And I'm off work again. So I want something to do that's Blizzard based. I find myself finding other things that aren't Hearthstone, and that's not, I want to spend my time in Hearthstone. So give me more Hearthstone.
Right, right. Well, like you said, congratulations on your legend finish this season. I didn't get to play as much as I had hoped. I only made it up into silver this last month. So the previous month I had finished gold 2. I think this season I finished silver
Not
5, just based on time to play. And so
It's not bad.
I we'll see how it goes. I got one less star bonus than what I got last month. Last month I had 6 times. This month I had 5 times. So
Okay.
we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll have a little more time to play in June, but we'll see. I still haven't returned to work. I'm still working from home, so still hopefully we'll have a little time to play. But yeah, with all that, we don't have any new emails or anything this week. So I know it sounds like it, but we haven't actually even made it to the news section yet. So let's jump right into the news this week, and it's all about the Grandmasters and the final week of round robin play. So Zeroshio, tell us about it.
So this was the final week of round robin, which meant this is where the stories finish for a lot of the playoff pictures, relegation tournaments, and there was a lot of really good play. And I got to give kudos to the production team because they did a really good job scheduling the matches in a way that, like, they kind of speckled some important matches into Friday and Saturday, so you didn't just watch Sunday, but they made sure Sunday was compelling. There were a lot of final matches for players, and really sad. Some players, when they lost, waved at the camera because they knew they were being relegated. It definitely feels more important for relegation this season than it did any of the seasons last year. And some good players are being relegated. I like that there's 3 relegation per region now instead of just 2, and that there's 2 immediate relegation, and then the third one has to be decided, which will be decided next week. So looking at the APAC region, Staz and Samuel Sow didn't cut it. They hit the bottom of Division B, and they're being relegated. They're no longer in Grandmasters. Division A has Flurry in 7th and Kin in 8th, and Division B has Frosty in 5th and Dawn in 6th. This is going to decide the relegation tournament for Asia Pacific. Now, the relegation tournament is it's fairly easy when you picture it, but 7th and 8th will play. The winner doesn't get relegated. The loser goes on to play 5th place in Division B. The winner doesn't get relegated. The loser then goes on to face 6th place, who in this case is Dawn, in relegation B, in Division B. The loser of that gets relegated. So if you finished 6th place in Division B, you only get 1 match to decide if you get relegated. Where if you're in the bottom of Division A, you actually have a total of 3 matches. Mm-hmm. And, of course, 5th place in Division B, it gets 2 matches. So I like the way they did this. It's kind of odd to see that you don't want to move further in the bracket in this tournament. You actually want to get knocked out of the bracket early. Mm-hmm. And these are some really good players. Ken being one of the brand new Grandmasters brought up this season. So Frosty, on the other hand, he actually did really bad to start the season. and at one point even waved at the camera, but fought back the last few weeks to fight himself up into 5th place. So I kind of like seeing that kind of fire, that he pretty much thought he was out, and then he decided to fight back the last couple weeks and did what he needed to do to stay not necessarily safe, but not immediately relegated. And then going into EU, I don't know, you're going to want to talk about this a bit. The bottom 2 in Division B being relegated are former world champion Pavel and one of the most prolific
names in Hearthstone
players, K God himself, Calento.
There are many tears in China tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and Calento even said himself on Twitter that he just hasn't been feeling it lately. And he also waved at the camera on his last match. And that's probably the most emotion I've seen out of Calento at a tournament ever.
Yeah, no.
What do you think of these two being relegated?
Names. These are 2 huge names being relegated out of the EU. Now, don't get me wrong. We talked about this last week. The EU is full of
stacked.
It is just really stacked with people. And to pinpoint this, Division A relegation bracket has another former world champion in it in Hunter Ace.
Yep.
And in 7th and Division A 8th place was Felkine,
which was one of the rising stars out of France.
Right.
And new Grandmaster. And then Division B, we're showing Zim hit 6th place in that. He's one of the brand new Grandmasters as well out of France. And then 5th place is Tice.
Yeah.
Tice. EU is going to lose Pavel, Calento, and it could use one of the best tournament competitors in Tice in history. It could lose a former world champion, Hunter Race, or it could lose one of the shining stars out of France that are brand new to Grandmasters.
Yeah,
this tells me the EU. If you're a Grandmaster in EU, you need to practice. Constantly. There are no slouches. There's no room for bad players in EU, because look at what is considered the bottom of the barrel, and it's probably better than most regions in the world for Hearthstone. So I'm really excited to see.
I would put those 6 players, Pavel, Calento, Hunter Ace, Felkine, Toss, Zim, I'd put those 6 players up against anybody.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see who takes the relegation slots. Now, mind you, if any of these players are also competing in any of the Masters Tour events and getting prize winnings, they could get re-promoted just off of their prize earnings.
That's true.
But again, we'll have to. I haven't checked those standings yet, and I don't know where they sit. So I don't know if any of those will get re-promoted or not. The only ones I could consider maybe Felkine and Zim, because they've been competing
actively.
I know Tice didn't go to the last tournament because it wasn't worth the money for him, and he had a vacation planned at that time. So he hasn't been getting a lot of prize earnings, which might be at his downfall. I hope not, because Tice is one of my favorite competitors.
Yeah, but I mean, Toss I think would be okay. Toss has such a large streaming following, and same with Calento. I think Calento will be okay as far as people tuning in to watch him stream. We'll see how it plays out. And then in the Americas, we saw PNC and Papa Jason both falling in those bottom spots. Papa Jason is one of the new Grandmasters to Americas. He just joined this season, and
he actually took that slot that Amnesiac stepped away. So Papa Jason just missed promotion into Grandmasters by 1 slot. It was Language Hacker and
Gallon.
Gallon. No, Gallon had already been there. Language Hacker, there's one other one I can't remember. But Papa Jason just got missed. And because Amnesiac stepped down,
Mhm.
Papa Jason got that spot. So maybe this is Papa Jason just wasn't ready yet. Maybe he just wasn't prepared for this type of competitive, because Grandmaster is different than anything else. And PNC kind of came out and said that he hasn't really been in the right place mentally for Hearthstone, and he's accepting all the blame, of course, and he just thinks he needs to take a step back for a minute,
Okay.
and get his mind right. So I honestly think out of all the regions, PNC and Papa Jason make the most sense to me.
Yeah.
They competed well, they tried hard, but honestly, they just came up short.
Yeah. Now,
And there's a lot of really good American players,
Right.
or North America's players,
Yeah.
that could fill that spot, and I'm excited.
So the bottom of Division A in the Americas region, we're going to see Monsanto in the 7th spot and Nalgadon in the 8th spot. So they'll be moving into that relegation tournament, and then in Division B, which is 5th and 6th spot of Division B, we're going to have ETC and Purple. So
Yeah, so Purple. So this was really telling, because Purple was going to be relegated, and then the very last match of America's was PNC versus Firebat.
yes,
And Firebat, one of Purple's closest friends, they do a lot of co-op streams, had to beat PNC to make sure that Purple wasn't auto-relegated. And you could literally see the emotion on Firebat's face, because it went to 5 games. And Firebat, at some points of the game, literally looked like he was going to get sick. And I don't normally, you don't see that much emotion out of Firebat, but to me, this is telling me a story, and this is what I want Grandmasters to do, and I'm really enjoying it. So I hope they keep up these kind of narratives. But Purple, with the help of Firebat beating PNC, he has to win his one last game or he gets relegated.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not remember a time where Purple wasn't part of the Hearthstone competitive scene.
I
think
either.
he was competing in the very first championship along with Firebat, right? Or compete
Maybe.
towards it. He wasn't in it. I think he went in it the next year, but he was in the grinder tournaments leading up to it. So his Purple has been a competitive Hearthstone player since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing to see that he could possibly be out of Grandmasters.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, we were talking about that, and I pulled up the round of 16 roster for the 2014 World Championship. And there's only 3 out of those 16 that are current Grandmasters. And 2 of them are on the cusp. You've got Firebat, you've got Calento, who just got relegated. Yep. And you've got Tom 60229.
Yes.
Those are the only 3 from that original 2014 World Championship that are in Grandmasters currently.
Yeah, and Tom 60229 is still firing on all cylinders over an APAC region. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't expect Hearthstone to kind of feel long in the tooth, especially in the competitive scene, but it's starting to. And it's kind of a good thing, because we're seeing which players can last this while. I didn't think Firebat was going to last this long in Grandmasters, to be honest. I mean, I like Firebat, don't get me wrong. But I just worried that he would change his focus in his life, and he has, and not be able to compete at the level he has, but he is. The other one I was really that I wasn't concerned for was Purple, because Purple's just always Hearthstone all the time, and something in his preparation just hasn't matched up, and I'm hoping he can win his last match. ETC, I think it's going to come down to ETC and Purple in the end, And ETC is a great player. I like ETC, but ETC was brought into Grandmasters basically just on his ladder finishes. He never went to a lot of tournaments. He didn't do a lot of grinding. He wasn't a personality. He got that spot over Language Hacker because of his ladder performance. And I just don't. There's times I wonder if this is the place for ETC. I like ETC because he represents the old man trying to stay young and compete in Hearthstone. But I just don't know if he can handle the longevity of constantly changing formats and changing, the metas and different directions. But I'm really excited to see all this kind of play out, and it's going to be playing out this week.
That's right. Yeah. So as I think we said earlier, the play-in for the last spots of playoffs will happen June the 4th. So if you're
Thursday.
listening to this on the download, it's just 2 days from now. And the relegation bracket will begin on Friday, June the 5th, and run through the weekend until June the 7th. So I'm really excited for chance to watch some Hearthstone this coming week.
Yeah, and it's like basically just a different match every day. And I don't think the broadcasts are going to be very long. They're going to be short broadcasts. So make sure you're following Play Hearthstone Esports on YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's been a great platform, and it's really easy to find the downloads if you miss it. All that's right there. And then they are going to start the group playoffs. Group play for playoffs start June the 4th. So we're starting to ramp up, and then I'm guessing they don't have it out yet, but the actual playoffs for this season's champion will be the following week, I assume. It's not on the schedule.
Yeah.
But so far, after seeing the new format, the 3 different rounds of Swiss, and then the group format into this kind of story of relegation, non-relegation, what do you think about the changes to Grandmasters now that we're getting towards the end of it, from seasons 1 and 2 to now season 3? Do you like this
I have absolutely
format?
Loved watching this season. Like you said, it's felt like they were actually more, the players were more invested. Like, they were playing for their tournament lives. It's just really felt like there was a reason for every single match other than just, oh, hey, I'm going to just play this week because I can. They literally felt like, I love the format. I loved the changing of the format from the first 3 weeks or so, how each week they did a different format, and then they went into round robin. I've just really enjoyed, as a spectator, really enjoyed this much more than last year's.
Yeah, I have to concur on that. I really kind of tuned out season 2 of Grandmasters, especially when you pretty much knew relegation way ahead of time. This new format of relegation, Purple had a chance up. He pretty much went winless the first few 4 matches. I think he ended up with only 2 wins, and you pretty much said, "Oh yeah, he's getting relegated. There's no way he can't get relegated." And then it just happened that he just barely dodged auto relegation. So whatever they've done to schedule these matches, to schedule the format of these round robin, they've done a really good job telling that narrative story.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can't predict how matches are going to go, but they just did a really good job. TJ and the production crew have done a good job of scheduling things out. At first, I didn't like that some players played twice in a week, some played once a week, but it actually allowed the schedule to be unpredictable, because somebody would show up on a certain spot of the standings, and then they actually probably could be higher up because they've had more matches than their opponents. So it makes them look like they're doing worse when they're actually doing better. And I don't know. I've just really liked the season 3 of Grandmasters better than anything else. And I hope they don't make any crazy changes for season 4. I hope they keep the same format.
Okay, so I'm looking at the schedule right now for Thursday, and all times shown for me, of course, are in Eastern, and looks like the first match of the day will start at 7 a.m. Eastern. That's that's Frosty versus Dawn.
Okay.
And then Blitz Chung versus Tom 60229. And then Shaxi versus Tyler. And then after that, we roll into the Europe set where you've got Boston versus Viper and Swids versus Bunny Hopper. And then after that, we roll back into the Americas, and you've got Zalay versus Frozen and Firebat versus Muzzy. So Thursday is going to be a full day of competition.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm excited. So, all right. Well, that pretty much covers that's all of our Grandmasters coverage for this week. This week's Tavern Brawl is a cavalcade of brawls. The cavalcade returns. Each class is associated with a previous brawl and loads you up with a deck based on that brawl's rules. So this is a Tavern Brawl we've seen before. This is nothing new. But
yes, but again, one thing to note: no Demon Hunter in this list.
That's correct.
Again, I don't know if we've had any new brawls since Demon Hunter came out. I know there was at least one that you could play Demon Hunter, but I think it was a build your own. It wasn't a pre-built. So I'm kind of excited to see when they'll start making brawls that include Demon Hunter as classes to choose from, where the decks are built for you or given random or whatnot, not just ones you build yourself. So that'll kind of show us because any of those new brawls will obviously be under won't be Joe Mag's leadership. It'll be whoever's taken over that team. So that'll kind of be the line in the sand that says this is the new regime, and I'd like to see how creative they are.
I agree. It's gonna be interesting. And speaking of no Demon Hunters included, it has been 7 weeks since Ashes of Outland dropped, and we have not played a Demon Hunter on the show yet.
I don't understand. I swear we did, but we did. The only thing we've done Demon Hunter is we reviewed the new cards.
That is correct.
And then every week it's been, hey, we're going to play Demon Hunter. Oh, they're about to do nerfs. Let's see what the nerfs do first. Oh, okay, we want to do Demon Hunter this week. Oh, but I really found this really good deck in here. You know.
Yeah.
And we're going to do Demon Hunter this week.
That is right. This week we have a tempo list for you. Zeroshio,
Mad at Arms.
Mad at Arms is the origin of this list. So
and to be honest, this is kind of a stock tempo list.
Mm-hmm.
I was running a similar list that didn't run the Volpera Scoundrels, and I think there's like one other card difference. So this is very similar to what's being played.
This looks a lot like
part.
the list I'm running. Again, I don't have the Volpera Scoundrel, but most of the other cards in this deck are very similar to the list that I'm running as well. So I'm going to run down the deck list, and then I'll turn it over to Zeroshio to kind of talk about it, since we have not done Demon Hunter on this show until now. All right.
That's right.
Deck list includes 2 Twin Slice, 2 Battle Fiend, 2 Beaming Sidekick, 2 Blazing Battle Mage, 2 Chaos Strike, 2 Spectral Sight, 2 Umberwing, 2 I-Beam, 2 Frozen Shadow Weaver, 2 Satyr Overseer, 1 Volpera Scoundrel, 1 Altruist the Outcast, 1 Kane Sunfury, 2 Glavebound Adept, 1 Metamorphosis, 2 Warglaves of Azeroth, and 2 Skull of Gul'dan. So take it away, Zeroshio.
So this list is pretty much, it's a tempo list, but the goal is to just burn your opponent down as quick as possible. The Volpera Scoundrels are interesting. So I wasn't too keen on Volpera Scoundrel in the list. I like Volpera Scoundrel in a lot of other decks. But in this list, I'm like, what's it really give you? But really, the goal of Volpera Scoundrel is that you're any kind of tool, anything that you could use, maybe a third of any of the spells in this, a third Chaos Strike, a third Twin Slice, is what you want. The thing is it Volpera Scoundrel pulls all spells from the entire standard pool. But because Demon Hunter is so fledgling, so young, and so new, there aren't as many spells in the pool. So it raises the probability you'll get a good spell that you need, like like another School of Gul'dan if you needed one earlier. And haven't drawn yours, or possibly another Metamorphosis. I've had that happen to me where I pull a Metamorphosis off of it. So it's really that 30th card. It's like I just need a 30th card that is good. It doesn't have to be a specific card. It's kind of like that pivot card. So I like Volpera Scoundrel on the list. I've honestly thought about toying with putting 2 Volpera Scoundrels and cutting maybe one of the Frozen Shadow Weavers, which is another tech card that's in here. Frozen Shadow Weaver is really good in the mirror.
Really, really good.
Because it can freeze your opponent's face, and if it's another Demon Hunter, it could lock him out a whole turn because maybe he needed to use his hero power that turn to, develop more minions off of his Satyr Overseer, or to be able to use his Gladebound Adept. So timing with that is important. If you see him use a Twin Slice, but he doesn't use the second slice going into turn 5, that means he's wanting the second slice and Gladebound Adept. So that's a good turn to go ahead and Frozen Shadow Weaver their face, because then it locks them out of that turn, out of being able to do that for that turn. So in the mirror match, it's all about buying yourself one extra turn, because it's a tempo matchup. So if you buy yourself one extra turn, you're just going to win one turn sooner than your opponent.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
And sometimes that's all it takes. There are some bad matchups. Warrior right now is a bad matchup because of all the extra damage and armor they can generate. Risky Skipper wrecks your world. So you got to watch out for that. Hunter's kind of a coin flip right now, so that's another one you got to watch out for. We are going to play this today, though. I've been on the ladder today, gotten up to Gold 5, I think it was, and there's a lot of Hunter and there's a lot of Warrior on the ladder right now. So hopefully we don't get blocked too much, but and we get to see what the deck does. But those matchups are still winnable. So.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else to add. Like I said, I've been playing a version of this deck, and it's pretty straightforward. I like that there is a lot of versatility in the Demon Hunter in the way that you can win. You can hold Kane and then charge through their taunts, or you can go over the top with Altruis, or over the top with Metamorphosis, or there's just multiple ways to win the game with Demon Hunter, and it's been a lot of fun to play over these last 7 weeks, and I'm looking forward to playing it tonight. So if you're joining us on Twitch or YouTube, stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via our audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOgamers, or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show and you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
All right. I am firing up the launcher here.
I am I'm actually gold 3. Okay.
Oh.
Playing some pure paladin today, making people really, really angry with me.
I really want to play that deck, but I am missing so many of the Paladin legendaries that
I
deck calls
crafted them.
for.
I crafted them so fast. It was like my first craft. That's all the legendaries.
Yeah.
Leadrin is stupid good. I thought she was going to be really bad, um, and I gave her a bad review. But with the the Librams of Wisdom, she's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ready?
Uh, I'm launching now. Apparently, from the time I played this afternoon until now, they decided there needed to be another update.
An update to Hearthstone?
Yeah, apparently. I had to sit
I
here and
didn't
wait
see
for it.
it.
I had to sit here and wait for it to update.
Oh, I see 17.2.1. I didn't notice that earlier. Maybe that was the little patch to say,
Hey, these you can no longer get full dust for these cards.
yeah, I would have liked to seen a solo. Okay, so breaking news.
Okay.
Before you jump in, go into solo content.
Oh. Well, I will as soon as the game
Yeah, so
decides to open.
this I don't think was here the other day. Because I was actually jumping in, I did some Tombs of Terror and didn't see anything. We got kind of a loose timestamp.
Okay.
So we go into solo adventures.
Opens in
And
2 weeks.
Opens in 2 weeks. So that might answer our question there. So
Yeah. Okay.
all right. I think that came with that update that just went through.
Okay. Well, I am ready to fight the spectate boss.
I have spectate on. Okay. I am spinning the wheel, hoping for a gum chewer. Hope I don't get a blizzard dev.
Nah, you want the blizzard
fiscally
devs.
responsible. Oh.
Trust me, I've played them. You want them.
Yeah. Oh, mirror match.
Yeah. So, what are we looking for in the mirror match?
You just want that early pressure. It might be worth keeping the Frozen Shadow Weaver.
Right, right.
Especially since it's in the middle.
Yeah.
We don't need the Altruist this early. Now, if we had Altruist and Twin Slice in hand, I might keep him.
So
just on turn 4.
Another thing to mention is the 5 drops in this deck: the Glavebound Adept, the Metamorphosis, the Warglaves of Azeroth. Our good friend over at Coin Concede, Ridiculous Hat, says that the 5 drops in Demon Hunter are some of the most prevalent cards in Hearthstone right now. Do we keep the Glavebound Adept?
Without a Twin Slice, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we just keep the Shadow Weaver because we want to get the Battle Fiends. We want to get Beaming Sidekicks. We want to get the early Battle Mage out.
There he is.
There's a Battle Mage. Into Chaos Strike, into Frozen Shadow Weaver.
Okay.
Ooh. I think we just trounce out the Battle Mage, and next turn we can Battle Fiend into Hero Power.
Okay. I like it.
This sets us up to, on his turn 3, to lock him out of possibility of Satyr Overseer value.
Yeah.
That's why I like keeping it in the mirror, because the turn he wants to Satyr Overseer. Okay.
Umberwing.
And he's just going to smack it.
Yep.
Oh, he's going to use a Twin Slice. Okay, so he used the first half of the Twin Slice.
Yes.
I mean, if we Battle Fiend
He can just
and hero
trade
power
and
when he's down.
he can just trade and kill it.
But he has to hero power to do it, or use the other half of the twin slice.
That's true.
So I don't hate that so much. And then we use our hero power to clear one of the fell wings.
Okay.
Right now we're just kind of playing chicken. We're just kind of going back and forth, seeing who flinches. We need to keep trying to develop something every turn.
Right.
And
right.
if he hits us with his face, that's face damage. Don't forget that.
Yeah. There's his battle mage.
Battle mage hero power. It's like, so he is going to use the second slice. So that means he's not going to have the second slice available for this next turn.
So, what do you think about Chaos Strike and Eye Beam? I mean, it's using 2 cards. Well, you can't because we'll draw a card.
You can't.
Yeah.
We'll draw a card. I honestly like Frozen Shadow Weaver. In targeting his face, so he has to use the minions to trade. And this allows us to Chaos Strike next turn from the left side, and Eye Beam will then be 1 cost.
Okay. I like that.
He pretty much has to invest at least a Battle Mage and 1 other minion into this.
Or not.
Okay, or he a full cost Eye Beam. Okay. So we can Chaos Strike.
We're way behind now.
Yep, we are. But we're not bad off because we're about to draw cards. And he only has 2 cards in his hand.
So Chaos Strike plus Hero Power. No, let's see. How do we do this? Chaos Strike.
Let's Chaos Strike first.
Okay. See what we draw.
On the left side of our hand, of course. That changes things.
That does. There you go.
So now we can Hero Power and Twin Slice to clear the Battle Mage, and then Eye Beam the Sidekick.
Yeah.
And I know it looks like we're way behind, but he's really low on cards, and if he doesn't have a Skull of Gul'dan,
Volpera Scoundrel.
that's interesting because he could get a skull off that. Okay.
Battle Fiend.
Can we altruist this? No. I mean, we can, but it's not.
We wouldn't clear. Yeah.
Clear. We'd be one minute short.
Next turn we could clear with Altruist. What do you think about just metamorphosing this turn?
That's what I was
sitting
thinking.
on it.
I think we just metamorphose it to get it out of our hand because we can clear this board next turn without too much effort.
Yeah.
And hopefully he develops a wide board this turn of a lot of two health minions. Ooh, Warglaves. That's not ideal. Probably going to have to face tank that Volpera Scoundrel.
Okay.
I still think we altruist this turn.
I do too.
So altruist into Chaos Strike.
Yep. Hopefully we draw. Okay.
Second slice, and then we have to hit the Volpera Scoundrel.
That's correct.
Now he can clearly hit this.
And then hit us.
Yeah. Double Volpera
Second Volpera Scoundrel. So that right there is one way his deck list is different than ours.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he cut a Shadow Weaver for it. I've also thought that 2 Warglaves is a little too heavy. We need almost a miracle.
Okay, so 3, 4, 5. We could play everything.
Yeah.
And
So
we
Umbral and Desader Overseer into Beaming Sidekick. And then we probably need to hero power down
down the
the Volpera
Volpera.
Scout.
Yeah,
And then go face for the 1 damage.
I think so.
Because it'll just be 1, because we don't have a way to use. This is just the first time we've used this, so. Of course, he's showing 6 damage right now, so he just needs a Gladebound to win. There's a million things he can get to win.
Right. He could Metamorphosis. He could, yeah. There's all kinds of
Metamorphosis, Gladebound.
There
Metamorphosis. There we go.
Created.
Well, we
by
saw how the deck works. Oh yeah. So maybe a 2 Volpera list is kind of the way to go. I don't know.
All right.
Because that was the one difference. And of course, draw.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't had a lot of luck today because I've faced a lot of Demon Hunter mirrors or I faced a lot of Warriors today. The only non-Demon Hunter Warrior I faced with this deck is Hunter, and that's not a great matchup. It's like the new thing seems to be at the beginning of the month, you either Demon Hunter or you counter Demon Hunter. Okay. Druid. Now, I don't know this matchup.
Okay, so I've actually played Druid, and I've beaten Druid, especially if it's that big Druid list where they're playing the quest and then summoning out.
So what do
minions.
What do you think on this mulligan?
I would
with the twin size. Do you think we keep the Gladebound Adept?
Not right off. Honestly, I think we throw back the Gladebound and the Metamorphosis.
Okay. Keep the twin slice?
Yeah, because basically what we're digging for is we want to have Kane in our hand. Kane is going to end the game for us.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, this is a matchup I'm not very familiar with.
We need to do as much damage as we can, as fast as we can.
So, do we Battle Fiend twin size?
I would Battle Fiend. Yeah, I would just go ahead and Battle Fiend this turn. And then
that's it?
Yeah. Because he's only going to have 1 mana. He's not, unless he uses coins into a Wrath or a Crystal
Powers. That would have, having the extra attack wouldn't have helped.
Right.
That,
right.
So we Battle Fiend
Hero Power.
And now we have the twin slice to go
for
along with the Satyr
Overseer next turn.
Good call. Does he have the second Crystal Power? I think this is Spell Druid.
There's the Wrath.
I like seeing all this go out of his hand.
Yeah.
So we
Satyr
Overseer
and Twin Slice. Yep.
He's not been able to ramp. He's not been able to save any of his spells for the locusts. I forget that.
Yeah.
The 5 costs.
Yeah. Breath of Dreams. Okay.
Does
he
he
does
get
have
a
a
mana?
dragon in his hand.
Yep, he does. And the Claw. Main decked Claw? That's got to be for this matchup.
Scoundrel here, maybe?
I think we Scoundrel, yeah. Another Chaos Strike?
I like it. It's card draw.
It's card draw.
And then Hero Power and Swing Face.
Push it. Push it real good. Dun, 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 dun. I can't sing anymore. We get copyrighted.
Yeah. That's what it is.
yeah. There's the Glowfly Swarm. Oh, he only has 3 spells in his hand.
That's correct. All right, so what do you think about Umberwing, Chaos Strike, or well,
Okay, so if
Chaos
we
Strike
Umberwing,
first.
yeah, okay, Chaos Strike first. I'm going to use the left one,
To a Chaos
and then
Strike.
if we Umberwing,
Uh-huh.
we can second slice and I beam.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so we're going to second slice. We're going to I beam. Okay. The question is, do we hit one of these with our face?
Yes. Yes.
Or are we still going to play the Umberwing?
No. No. I think we just clear, swing the Volpera in, and then go face with the 2/2.
We don't develop the 2/1/1s?
Well, I mean, you'd be playing into a full clear with a swap.
They don't run swipe in this list,
Okay.
I don't think.
Then go ahead.
I don't think they run swipe in this list. I haven't seen it. I mean, I could be wrong. But if he just develops his turn to swipe this turn, I'm fine with that. Yeah, Fungal Fortunes. Up, Mount Seller gone. Okay, so he discarded a Mount Seller.
Okay.
Might just double Chaos Strike.
Yeah, let's draw some cards.
Yeah. Chaos Strike.
Battle Mage,
Do we
Battle
blazing?
Mage.
What about Battle Mage Sidekick on the 2/2?
Okay, yeah, that works too.
We do need to get into Arcane because pretty soon we're about to get Mount Cellared,
Yeah.
and then it's going to get taunted up. Mount Cellar, the taunt, the 0 cost spell that gives him a taunt. Good. I'll take it. There's the Iron Bark. So he's going to clear a minion.
No, he's going face.
No, he didn't clear a minion.
But we still don't have.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Without the cane.
gonna be it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way for us to win, right?
I don't believe so. That's why I was saying we need to mulligan hard for the cane.
Which we did.
We
and
did.
we even got lots of draw for the cane.
Yeah.
So.
We just never saw it.
I'm just wondering if there's any recourse out of this.
I mean, we could draw Metamorphosis and go over the top for 10, leaving him at 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to clear down.
If we draw Kane,
minion.
so let's see what happens the next draw.
Yeah. Another Fungal Fortunes. Wow, he's getting all the Muckless. There goes a Malagos. This is a Malagos list. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Because even if we get Kane at this point,
it's too late.
We're not going to have enough damage over the top.
Nope, that's game.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Right now is a tough time to play Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
But this is a very good deck. A lot of people have had success with it.
Yeah.
Even today.
It is. Tempo's a lot of fun.
Just depending what your MMR, bracket is. Mine is doing a good job of countering Demon Hunter on day one. So I'm probably going to hop back on the ladder and play some more Pure Paladin and take advantage of these people that are because Pure Paladin destroys Warrior. Right. I don't know what my win rate versus Warrior is, but it's really, really high. I think it's like 80-some%. I almost never lose that matchup.
Right.
They get so salty. I actually faced a guy that his name was nice guy, and he BM'd me the entire game.
Not
Wasn't
very
a very
nice.
nice guy. No.
All right, gang, that's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, feel free to email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. If you are interested in checking out our patron-only Discord, head on over to patreon.com/heropower. And until next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys.